Hey, what's up guys? This is TBone here and welcome to the beginner's guide for playing Era of Chaos. Now if you're just starting out or if you've been thinking about picking up the game, hopefully this guide is going to help you get started and understand how to navigate in this game. We're going to talk about the maps and also some of the units that you can see in the game, as well as some of the things to expect. So this is going to help you get started, and then there are going to be other videos where you can take a look at more in-depth look at some of the other features that this game has to offer. So sit back, enjoy, and let's get started. Maps is where you're going to be spending most of your time when you're first starting out. After you complete the tutorial level on Evermorn Island, you'll start at Return of the Queen from chapters 2 through 4, and then afterwards moving on to chapters 5 through 8, where you'll have a chance to collect the Infernal Hero Rashka. I do cover Rashka in a separate video, so you can take a look at the link as well. Now, if we go into the chapters, this is where you're going to see various levels that you have to go through. And every chapter will have different numbers of levels in the beginning, but near the later on, it's going to be consistently 15 sub-levels to go through. And each of these levels will have different enemies that you have to fight against, and the objective is to at least beat the level. If you just beat the level, that is going to give you a 1-star rating, and 1-star rating is all you would need to do something like a sweep, which allows you to fight without actually going into the battle again. 2 stars, to get 2 stars, you need to make sure that you defeat the level and you also don't lose more than 3 heroes or 3 units. And then to get 3 stars, you need to make sure you do all of that, and also you complete everything in 1 minute. If you miss any of those 3 criteria, then you're not going to get the 3 stars. So let's go in and do a quick battle just to show what the fights look like in the beginning. And what I'm going to do is I'm also going to show you the units that you will be using when you're first starting out, because these are going to be the characters that you're going to get after your tutorial. So after the tutorial phase, you're going to have the swordsman, and you're also going to have a monk. So what we're going to do is we're going to place a monk in here, and we're going to place a swordsman up here. And so what you want to do is you want to, and I believe you also get a pikeman. So what we can do is we can put a pikeman in here. And so these are going to be the 3 units, and you're going to start by fighting against the enemy. And so the way this game works is you have a choice of where you can place your units, and there are restrictions though. Anything that has the sword symbol and the shield symbol, these are defenders and attackers. They can only be placed in anywhere in the front 2 columns. Anything that has the little wand symbol or the arrow symbol, that is the ranged unit, and this is a caster unit, they can only be placed in the back. And so that is a restriction. The ones with the horse, which are chargers, they can be placed anywhere on the map, so they're very versatile. So when we go into the battle, before you go into the battle, you can see these arrows. You can see what enemies you're going to go up against, and then we can go in for a quick battle. We can confirm that we have all of the units we need, because I am more leveled now, so they wanted me to actually bring in more heroes. But what we're going to do is we're going to use this as an opportunity to show you what the fights look like. And once we finish the fight, you're going to also see the ending credit to show you how we got the 3 stars, and it tells you the win conditions. You win, you get within 1 minute, and also you don't lose more than 3 units. And then here are the items that you can receive. You get some gems and also some crystals. And these are what we're going to be using to also level up our units. But before we move on, something that I want to make sure that I call out is you don't need to 3-star all of the levels in every single chapter, because you can still make progress even if you don't. If you complete all the levels less than 3 stars, you'll still be able to unlock the next chapter. But what you can do is you can go back afterwards when you're stronger to get more of the stars, because the more stars you get, the more rewards you can get. If you can collect 15 stars in this level, then you can this chapter, then you can get 50 gems. And then if you get 30 stars total, which is going to be 3 star in all of the levels, then you get 300 additional gems. And these are going to be really important currencies for you to be able to make progress in the game as well. And later on, as you go through, there are also going to be lots of little things that you can click on. Anything you see that is like wood, that looks like gems or anything like that, you can actually click on them. It's actually interactive, so you can get stuff in here. And you can also use the Scout's Letter to show you what side quests there are so that you can go directly to them so that you can collect these missing items. All of these things are going to help you toward progress. And the bonus of completing all of these side quests is that you, again, will get additional bonuses, which is a really nice feature for this game. Now let's go take a look at the units themselves, and we will see how to evolve them, where to get them, and what is the best way to get started. The other area that you have access to immediately after you complete the tutorial is the altar. This is also where you originally got your 2 units, the swordsman and also the monk. And you can see here there are 2 different locations you can go to. There's the one that has the unit tokens, and these are using the silver keys. The number of silver keys will allow you to open 1 item each, so you can purchase 1 at a time. You can also go up to 10 and also 100 if you have the keys. When you use the keys to open in the altar, we can open 10 for now. What it'll get you are various things. You have a chance to get units. In this case, I got Imp directly from a summon, but because I already have this unit, they gave me tokens instead. So the silver keys, you always have a chance at getting a unit directly, or you can get tokens. You can also get additional items here that are going to help you with evolving your units, which we'll talk about after this. So this is a silver key. And then the other part of the altar is the gold chest. This is where you can spend gems to actually open the packs here. Now, my recommendation is to not open these, even though it might seem tempting to spend 150 gems to open. You always get a free pull once a day or once every 2 days, that's what he says. But when you log in every day, you can get 1 free chest. You should always use that. But then afterwards, I would recommend saving 2,700 gems to purchase the 10 units at once, because you are guaranteed to get at least 1 super rare hero, and we're going to talk about the rarities after this. And if it's your first time playing, within the first 3 pulls, you should also get a super rare card unit that is going to be extremely helpful for you as you go on your fights. And also, as you play through, you might notice that there is a gold key here. If you collect 10 gold keys, then you can check this checkbox, and then you can use the keys instead of gems as well to open the pack, so you can save yourself some gems. After you've opened about 3 or 4 times from the altar, I would then recommend that you actually save your gems. This is because you're going to have a lot of opportunities to earn different heroes without having to pull through the altar here. So you can actually save some gems after the first few pulls there. So that's my recommendation for the altar, and this is what's available to you right in the beginning. And so have fun with this, and I hope you pull a really good unit. The next part that you're going to want to focus on is going to be your units area. So this is the screen where you can see all of the units are available, including ones that you already own. The ones that you don't own are going to be listed near the bottom, and it'll tell you how many of the tokens you've already collected and how many more you need before you can actually craft it. You can also preview the cards so they can tell you more about the units. You can see here what I'm missing are the SSR aptitude. So each unit has an aptitude associated with it. They also have factions, number of members, and all of that. So basically the faction is the factions that the units belong in. They will have sort of a bit of a properties for themselves, and there are heroes that will work well with them. And also the number of members tells you how many individual units in a pack that you'll see. And then their aptitude then is the rarity. The higher the rarity, the stronger the unit is going to be. So SSR is the highest rarity for the units, and so it's one of the strongest heroes in the game. And so that is definitely something that you want to be able to put into your teams. Now, some of these are only available during their events, or they're very rare drops in the altar. But as I mentioned earlier, you can actually get a guaranteed SSR unit within one of your first few pulls if this is your first time playing. And so, for example, I got the Bone Dragon as my very first SSR unit when I pulled. And then the second one was the Green Dragon. And so these were the two cards that I used very heavily in my lineup, and it definitely helped me out a lot. And so in order to make progress, what you need to do is you need to actually level them up. When you receive a unit, it will always start at level 1. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at a unit here. This is the Walking Dead. It's a R unit, so this is just a rare unit. That's the lowest rating. And then the one that is above that is SR, which is a super rare card. And so these cards will have level 1 to start with, and you can level them up by using gold. So you can do upgrades here, and it will cost gold to level up, and you can level it to the maximum level you can level a unit up to is your hero level, so your player rank. So you can see here you have your own rank as well. So as you level up, you'll be able to level up your cards more as well. And so when you level, the things that you want to look forward to are you need to make sure that you first level up the card. So we're going to go ahead and level it to level 2. And then when you do an upgrade, you'll notice that these up arrows tells you that the equipments for this particular unit can be upgraded as well. So you can go ahead and click on the hammer to then upgrade all of them to level 2. And you can see there is a power increase. This unit is now more powerful. You can also click on each of these items because these can be upgraded, and this is how you get stronger. Besides leveling up, you also need to boost the base stats of your equipment here. So there's always 4 equipment for every unit, and it tells you what is required for you to do an upgrade. So right now this is a white sort of a base unit, and we can level it up to a green status if we upgrade all four of the equipments. You can see here we upgraded them. You can see the color changing as well to green. And then when you exit out here, you can also do a unit upgrade. So when we do a unit upgrade, we see that we have now gone from white border to green border, and our power has increased. The thresholds that you want to get to is actually going to be blue. So after green, it goes immediately to blue, and you can see the number of items required now to keep moving up is going to be increased. So we're going to stop at blue here, because as you're starting out, my recommendation is to get all of the units, as many of the units as you have, the ones that you can use regularly. So you need to put at least 4 or 5 units into the blue status. That is going to be very helpful for you to get through the levels. So once you've upgraded to blue, pay attention to where you see the orange dots. Or follow the orange dot or the red dot, and you're going to be able to unlock the skill in this case. You can pay attention and take a look at what it does, but unlocking it gives you more abilities. Now, the thing that you have to keep in mind is when you're upgrading, do not use these books or these other items to upgrade. Even though you can, you shouldn't. So when you're first starting out, you want to look for these various different stones. Now, you may not actually have them, so just be patient. You'll start earning them really easily from various modes in the game, but definitely do not use any of the hard-earned books or any of these items here, because it's more appropriate to use them to actually upgrade your equipment, and you don't want to upgrade skills using this option. Another thing you can do is you can increase the talent, but that is something that will come with time, and so I wouldn't worry about that right now. The first thing you want to focus on is getting your units leveled up to blue status, and the next thing we're going to talk about is the unit composition and what you can do to be successful. Next, I'm going to have a quick explanation for unit composition and how to use your starting lineup to the best you know, basically to give you the best advantage in order to defeat the various levels as you come across the chapters. So the couple of things to know, I already mentioned that you can place your defenders only in the first 2 columns as well as your attackers. And then your ranged units and your casters can only be in the back. When you're starting out, you will have a marksman. This is a ranged unit. The further back it is from the enemies, the more damage it will deal. So it's always better to leave them in the back. And in terms of the units here, you have 4 different rows that you can place these units. And my recommendation is to place them in the same row. Monk has a very nice status here in that it has a nice effect in that it will provide high morale. And what morale does is it actually boosts all of these units that you're going to get from the castle faction. So you can see that the Iron Crusader, which is actually a swordsman that gets converted, is from the castle faction. And it will have a increased damage reduction. And also doubles that if it's in high morale. And the unit that gives high morale is Monk. So the way that this works is Monk will give everybody in his row the high morale. And also Pikeman also gets a benefit from the high morale, but only when it's in the orange, when it has the orange status. So right now my Pikeman, you can see by color, is purple. So I have the first 3 skills unlocked, but eventually they will all benefit from each other. And Pikeman also gets benefit from the high morale. So you can see the little phoenix symbol, that's for high morale. So keeping them all in the same line is going to be useful. And then you're going to quickly learn too that when you have a charger, you want them to go where there isn't anybody blocking you. All right, so always leave a charger where there's an open lane so they can go to the back and attack the casters and also the ranged units. And the way that the cards work, units work against each other is that any of these attackers are going to be good against defenders, and so this is a really good lineup to be able to push through the defense here, and we're going to see how this works out with this practice battle. So we're going to also show you with this how you would then use your hero's abilities. I talked about Catherine in one of my other videos, so I do have a hero focused discussion, but you can see here there are spells that you can use, and all you have to do is drag these spells to your basically. There are spells that will support your unit, so you just drag them up, and then there are spells that will attack your units, so you would drag and then you can simply drop them. The numbers underneath are the number of mana that you need to build up in order to use them, and the mana will automatically generate. There's nothing you need to do to actually build mana. It's something that will automatically be generated, and so you can always use your spells after a certain amount of cooldown. So this is an example of a fight using the starting lineup there. By keeping them in the line here, you're going to have a better protected lane, and then you can also use the chargers to your advantage for taking out a lot of your enemies. So I would say the first few chapters, you can use this strategy really well to your advantage. And then if you get any SSR units, then you could also replace one of these cards. I would say that if you get an SSR card that is a type of attacker, then I would definitely replace the pikeman with it. The marksman can give you a lot of damage, so if you keep it in and level it up a lot, it will give you a lot of benefit as well. But if you were to say let's get a green dragon, then I would say you could have a choice between either replacing the marksman or replacing the cavalry. Although it is nice having the cavalry in place because you still want to have the dragon in line with everybody so that he can use his special skills to poison down everyone. So that is the basics of unit formation and also how you can use your starting units to take down the first few levels. Last but not least, here is the home screen where you can see there are lots of things that will be available to you as you level up. And one of the ways to get prepared for what's coming is through here. You can see in the bottom left corner here, the guidebook. So the guidebook will actually be a very good tool for you as you're starting out to see what is going to be coming as you level up. So starting at level 6 is where you start getting rewards. You can get the sign-in bonus. Level 8 is where you can get your 7-day bonus as a new player. And then level 9 you get privileges, and then level 9 is also where you can start using 5 units instead of 4, so that's going to help you along your journey in your chapters. And you can see as we go on, there is underground, daily mission, and all of these items will also have a nice explanation for what it actually is, so you can sort of expect what's going to be coming up. Here is a great tool for you to search for what is coming, and you can get a little bit of rewards because each of them will have a little bit of tasks for you to complete. I would say that the first milestone that you should focus on getting to will be Guild. So Guild is going to be a place where you're going to unlock a whole new set of activities to play, and we will definitely have more follow-up to those modes in a separate video. But I would say starting out, you want to focus on getting yourself to level 22, by which case you're going to also get 6 units, and you're going to start building up to a full-size team of 8. And like I said, using the guidebook here will really help you be prepared for what's to come and also what to expect, so that you can have an idea of when a feature is unlocked, what it actually does. And beyond that, on a daily basis, you should follow the same rule of clicking where there are orange dots, because it is in some cases going to be beneficial for you. So this one is a direct purchase offer that is always going to be there. There's also the events tab here. You can get some items. I do have a basic VIP package here, but so far I've just spent on that one, and I got a $1 VIP package there. So this is where you see the VIP package gives you, for the $4.99 one, gives you a 100 gems for every single day for a period of 30 days. And then you also have daily items here, but here are some places where you can collect free items as well, which you can then claim additional things. At the very bottom here, usually people don't realize, this is where you can also get more energy. Sometimes, depending on time of day, you don't need to spend any diamonds for it. You can actually claim more energy for free. Energy is going to be really useful for you as you get higher in level, because that is the only way that you can get the items one of the only ways that you can use to get your items needed to upgrade your unit's equipment. So we saw here there are these equipments that we need to upgrade. In order to get these items, we need to go to the different levels, and we need to actually use energy to attack. When you run out of energy, then you cannot actually do any more, so you will have to wait for the energy to then refill. So all of these things on the left, on the right, and also on the left is where you can also get access to other things like your inbox mail. Check this often. You get lots of rewards. Era of Chaos is a game that really rewards its players a lot, with a lot of rewards and a lot of gems, a lot of items. So it is in your best interest to log in daily and take a look at all of the things that it has to offer. And once you get to a higher level, then you can start exploring other features such as the Colossus, and also you can go to the gate, and for which I also have videos for, so we can explore them in more detail. But hopefully with this, you should be well on your way to completing at least the first few chapters, first few areas, and you can start collecting heroes along the way. The first one is going to be Catherine, and the second one that you're going to be able to get is going to be Rashka. Both of heroes I have a more detailed, in-depth view for. Take a look at those, and you can build up more heroes over time, and you can build your own play style to be successful. So that's going to be it for this tutorial. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in the upcoming episodes. Take care.